FlutterFlow versus WeWeb. We're going to go through the key features, the pricings, which one I would choose, and more importantly, what you need to consider when you're picking an app for your project. So let's get right into it. First of all, what is FlutterFlow? This is a platform where you can create applications really fast. If it's mobile, if it's going to be web-based, whatever you want to do, you can do this with FlutterFlow. What is WeWeb? WeWeb is a platform where you can build apps 10 times faster. And you can be building this on the front end and then using whatever backend you want to make the app smart. So let's look at the key features of both platforms. For FlutterFlow, it's important to note what are you trying to build to determine what the best type of features you're looking for this platform. But in general, some of the things that stand out with FlutterFlow is I think it's the best experience for creating a native mobile application with no code. I just don't think anyone's close to it. And you can do tons of things with it, with custom animations, just the way that how smooth the app is. Nothing comes close to it. You can also do push notifications. You can do light mode, dark mode, and group chat for some of the other features. But we've seen other people build marketplaces with this, build SaaS products, and the list goes on. But the features I would really look at is FlutterFlow is great if you're trying to create a mobile app. Now they have expanded in the last couple of months to a year to allowing you to have a very good desktop experience. But I think the main differentiation is if you need a mobile app as well and to be able to submit it to the App Store, this is where it stands out. Let's take a look at WeWeb. For WeWeb, I would just take a look at the first thing is how it's designed and how you're going to be making your application. It has a very standard style of where you're going to work from left to right, where you're going to have the navigation, you're going to be able to have the trees, how you're going to be able to organize the application. In the middle, you're going to be able to see the preview of your application. And then on the right-hand side, that's where you're going to really be able to dig in and change some of the dimensions and all of those things. You can also preview the application and all those things. Looking at their showcase, that really allows you to kind of see different things, what people are doing, either creating SaaS products, client portals, internal tools, and then multi-step forms, because it allows you to do a lot of things with automation. When people are clicking things, you can do a lot of things on the back end that people don't see. So it's a really good use case for that as well. In the comment section down below, let me know what kind of project you're building or what kind of business you're working on and what you need this for. All right, next, we're going to be looking at pricing. So for FlutterFlow to get started, you can start it for free. It will have limited functionality, but you'll be able to have all of the core platform features, pre-built templates, Firebase integrations. And if you're going to be using APIs, you can have 2 API endpoints to get started. That really allows you to validate your ideas, see if you're in the right direction, and then go on. I wouldn't go to the standard or pro unless my application needed more features, or more importantly, you getting paid for this, because you want this to not just be a hobby, but you want to get paid for what you're trying to create, right? So once you look at that, the standard is $30 a month. That's where you're going to be able to have APK downloads. You can download the code as well. This is really important because if you want to leave the platform, you can take your code and go as well, because this is built on Flutter, which is an open source code that is created by Google. So you can just take it with you. That's one of the benefits of using FlutterFlow. You're not locked into a platform if you decide to leave. I think there's great features that they keep adding per month, but that's one of the great things. If you feel like you need to leave and you want to just learn how to code and use Flutter, you can leave. At the pro level, that's where you're going to be able to deploy it to the App Store, the Play Store, all of those things. You'll have access to chat support, and also you'll have a one-click app translation with Google Translate. What I would mention about that is once you've got paying customers, then I would go to pro. A lot of times, creators or developers want to just go to the App Store right away, but I think you can do a lot of things with the free or standard version to get customers, get buy-in before you even have to spend $70 a month. And so that's the basic structure of what you're going to be looking at for FlutterFlow. Now let's take a look at WeWeb. Now the breakdown is you can start for free. It's going to be 39 or 149. So let's take a look at free. Number one, for free, you can use all the features in development mode, templates and UI kits, community support. Okay. At $39, that's where it's going to be the live application. So you can do a lot of things with testing, see what's going on. And then when you're ready, it's going to be $39 a month. You can have a custom domain. You can have up to 4 plugins, 50,000 monthly app visits. That's pretty generous. But I'd say an app visit is an entire session. When a user loads an app and browse through the pages, we count as one visit. Okay, that's good that they're specifying what that counts as. 1 gig of file storage, and you can do code export and self-hosting. Love it. You know how much I love these things. It says this feature is available with an annual subscription. So just keep that in mind if you're going to go. That's annual. If you're going to pay monthly, it's going to be 49. Annual, it's going to be 39, just to make sure we have it. For annual, for FlutterFlow, it's going to be 22 and 50. For monthly, it's going to be 30 and 70. Okay. So let's go back to WeWeb. Okay, so you can export at 39 once you do the annual. So that's 39. To go to the scaling, that's where it's going to be 149. Live application, custom domains, unlimited plugins. So there's going to be a difference. Instead of 4 plugins, we go to unlimited. You can have up to 250,000 monthly app visits. Okay, so that's a big bump. 10 gigs of file storage. You can export roles and permissions, data caching, versioning and staging, 3 backups. Okay, so the main difference is I can do more with my team if I'm having roles and permissions. Also, I can have several different sections if I want to have the application at different stages, and I don't want to push everything live. I can do that. That starts at 149. And then custom, you can just talk to them. Okay, so yeah, those are the 3 price range. Again, both have a free plan. Scaling up, their starter plans are pretty similar. Their scale for WeWeb is 149. Then you look at 70 for FlutterFlow. So that's something to consider. Okay, before I mention which one I would choose, let's go into how to pick the right tech. And this is really important to consider because people just want to ask me all the time, like, which one would I choose? What's going on? Well, first, I would go through this process. And there's a link down below if you want a copy of this. But let's just go through it. First of all, how to pick the right tech. What is your idea? Decide what you want to build, and that's going to allow you to choose the right tool. What I mean by that is, what are you trying to create? Is it a ride sharing app? Is it a marketplace? Is it knowledge as a service? Is it a game? Is it a SaaS? Those things are important because then you're going to need possibly different platforms to achieve that. You can do a lot of things or create a lot of different applications on tons of different platforms, but not every platform is great for your use case. For example, if I'm trying to create a game, you can create a game using Glide or even FlutterFlow. But if I'm going to create a game, I would use BuildBox, like hands down. I don't want to have another conversation. The 99% of the time, I'm just going to use BuildBox. If I need a flip card game, I might use something else. But for the most part, you have to think about what is the main thing that you're trying to create. What kind of product or application are you trying to create? The next thing I would look at is the one main feature. What is your application going to be known for? For example, Instagram, is it photo sharing? If it's Tinder, it's a dating matches. If it's Uber, ride sharing. Venmo, transactions, right? So you need to figure out what's that main feature. And don't think about what Instagram looks like today, where it has so many different features. Think about what it was known for when it first got started. Because when you're trying to create your application, you just need one thing that it does great. Do not be distracted by the 3rd or 5th feature. You need one. So in the comment section down below, let me know, what is your idea? And also, what is the main feature of your app? Now, if you don't want to share it with people, write it down on a piece of paper because you need to be accountable to either yourself or your friends, or again, the group down below, people that are trying to build, come here on this channel. So let people know. The third thing to consider is, what is your skill level? And this is really important because you need to decide, or you need to make sure you understand, like, are you a beginner? Are you just getting to know things about no code? That's really important because having FlutterFlow or Builder or Bubble, that's a steeper learning curve. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but that's something to consider to get started versus if you're starting something like with Softr or Glide. There's a different level. And depending on this next portion we talk about, it really depends on your time and energy and all of those things. So are you a beginner? Are you experienced with databases? Are you an expert with APIs? Are you a developer and you're using low code or no code tools? That's really important to decide or to really take into account. The next point is looking at the outcome or timeline. So, when do you need this app to be done? If you need it done like in 2 weeks, that's something to consider because do you have the expertise to learn a platform right now, or do you need to hire an expert like using DocStocks, which is a link down below, where you get connected with an expert and they build it for you? Or are you creating this and you're a hobbyist and you're creating this for your own use case, or you have the time to learn, or you want to learn this skill to be able to, have that as a side hustle or be able to sell that service? You need to understand where you're at. Are you in an accelerator or a competition and you need to move fast? Are you creating a project for a client? Are you building an internal tool for your business? Are you creating a quick app just to show it off, or is this a long-term investment? Are you trying to use this as something you're using in a business? Maybe you own a laundromat and you're trying to create an app where people can sign in and be on a waiting list to use the different washer and dryer machines. Are you creating a marketplace? There's tons of things that you need to consider for your business. And then once you decide on that, that allows you to decide on what platform that you're going to be using. What's great, FlutterFlow or WeWeb. And then if you want to know more about the framework to create an app or SaaS and what it looks like step by step, you can download the full copy and you can go through that as well. So with that in mind, which one would I choose? FlutterFlow or would I use WeWeb? Well, it depends. No, seriously, it depends on what you're trying to create. And for the most part, I'm going to use FlutterFlow. I'm going to use FlutterFlow because I like the app experience. Not only that, they're releasing things all the time using FlutterFlow. And now they have AI Gen where I can also use just text prompting where it can start building out the pages for me as well. So I'm going to be looking at FlutterFlow. Now, WeWeb might be a solution for you if you're going to be going very specific with different things. Like I see some examples right here, which are interesting, but I haven't seen anything where I couldn't build in FlutterFlow. And also, FlutterFlow is cheaper. So for the most part, I'm going to be using FlutterFlow. If there is a reason I would use WeWeb, or if you're using a project, if you're using WeWeb right now and you want to share it, let me know in the comments section down below. Maybe I missed something. I would love to know how people are using it. But if I'm going pound for pound, what I'm going to do, I'm still going to use FlutterFlow. In this case, if I'm going side by side comparison, I'm still going to use FlutterFlow. But again, let me know your use case. I always want to know how people are using these different platforms and different reasons why people should expand and try other things. If you like these kind of videos, make sure you like and subscribe. If you want help and you need Docs connections and have help with your project, put it down below. There's a link down below and you can connect with people. Or if you want consulting, that's what I do as well. I'll see you in the next video.